White House border czar Tom Homan joins me now from the White House. Tom, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming back on the program. The last time we spoke, as I think you might remember, you said you need more resources. Congress has given them to you now. Do you have enough?
Yeah, and I'm happy with the numbers. It's going to fund us for 100,000 beds, which we need. I mean, one day last week when I woke up and looked at the numbers, we had less than 200 beds available nationwide. I mean, we'll fill them in an hour. So we're constantly chasing our tails, having to plan more deportation flights just to empty beds so we can continue our operations throughout the nation. Sometimes you got to slow those operations down because we have no place to put them. People need to understand, for every alien we arrest, we need a bed because they're going to be detained for several days to several weeks, sometimes several months, so we can make arrangements, get the final orders, make arrangements for the removal to their home nation. So we need beds. For everybody we arrest, we need a bed. So this is going to help us with that.
Where will those beds be located, Tom?
All throughout the nation. We're building a plan now on the most efficient way to do this. You know, we got operations going on throughout the nation, so we're looking at, along with the beds, what the transportation infrastructure looks like. How do we get people from a small town in Nebraska to a flight line? So that plan is being put together now. So there's going to be facilities throughout the country. We need facilities in the Northwest. We need facilities in the Northeast. Like New York City, for example, I think we got like 80, 85 beds total up there. So we'll be looking for facilities all across the nation. We will be concentrating on a lot of facilities in the Southwest, just because that's where the flight lines go to plan multiple removal flights. So we'll keep those pods there. We're going to increase them. We'll probably add a flight line to Florida. But short answer, we're going to have facilities everywhere, but we're going to be concentrating a lot of them toward the Southwest border because that just makes it more efficient for us.
Will they be on military bases?
Look, we're looking at military bases. Every administration since I've been involved has used military bases. The more and more detention facilities we erect, whether soft-sided facilities or brick and mortar, be less demand we have on military bases. That's why the big, beautiful bill is a game changer. We can have our space on either private land or federal land to do this and rely less on the military for housing. So this is a great plan all the way around.
Tom, there has been some confusion this week about whether or not there will be any reprioritization away from immigration enforcement that deals with farm workers and those in the hospitality industry. Can you clarify what the policy is and what it's going to be going forward?
Well, look, the President Trump's, been clear. He's looking at, farm workers, hospitality, and a lot of people are talking to, Department of Labor, Department of Agriculture, DHS, on what a policy may look like. There's no final decisions made. I'm not going to get ahead of the president on that. But I will say this, despite what I'm reading in the media, there is no amnesty. People keep saying an amnesty's coming. There's going to be no amnesty. But we are working on this policy with the Department of Labor because they know the labor need of this country better than anybody. Department of Agriculture and what the needs are out there in agriculture. And Department of Homeland Security, how does this, bump up against the enforcement effort? So all these great minds are working right now with the president. And a decision will come soon, but I don't want to get ahead of the president on that. But plans are being talked about, options being talked about. We're not ready to announce anything at this time. But there will be no amnesty. I want to make that clear.
Understand, Tom. I want to read you a headline from today. It's probably on everyone's phones. Federal judge issues new nationwide block against Trump's order seeking to end birthright citizenship. Your reaction?
Obviously, he's ignoring the Supreme Court. Just made that decision. I mean, these radical judges, district court judges, district court judges are making national decisions, putting rulings in place for the entire country. The Supreme Court just settled this issue. So, look, we're going to litigate it. We'll get beyond it. It's just really pathetic where people are trying so hard to stop the Trump agenda that American people voted for. The reason he's sitting in the White House because of the immigration push we're doing right now, both on the border and interior. Now, today, we got the most secure border in the history of this nation because of President Trump. But we got to stop these radical judges and put nationwide injunctions. The Supreme Court's ruled on this. He's obviously ignoring it. So once again, we got DOJ have to litigate this and shut it down. They've sent a clear message. This cannot happen.
Tom, you know what the Supreme Court said was if a district judge finds a class is affected and harmed, that class can obtain an injunction, which is what this judge in New Hampshire said.
Yeah. Well, we know they're going to push that button. We know they're going to use every tool they can to stop the Trump agenda. They're not going to stop us. What they need to understand is ICE is going to be on the street every day across this country. We got 1,000 teams on the street today. We have 1,000 teams and more. We're going to keep arresting them. And bottom line is, if we can't remove them quickly, then we're going to detain them. The only option that's not available, a criminal alien threat, a national security illegal alien threat, was not going to walk the streets of this country. We'll detain them, and we'll litigate the removals.
Tom Homan, White House Reporter Czar, please stay with us. We're going to talk with you after the break about lots of issues in immigration in this space when we come back. Please stay with us.